Hey y'all, good morning.
Good morning.
It's us.
The Give Back
That is Michonne Carter Fogle.
and Eureka Edison.
How y'all doing today? So we're going to bring you guys another topic today, but we kind of want to give a little recap first of all on the topics that we've talked about that have brought us thus far. We've talked about professionalism. We've talked about you've graduated school, now what? So today we're going to bring you a topic that is kind of like a little controversial because people do not give hairstylists the credit that we are due. So we're going to talk about hairstylists being hobby versus a career.
Correct. Because I also know stylists who have license but still choosing to practice it as a hobby.
Absolutely.
Instead of a professional career.
Absolutely. So from my experience, things that I have done to make sure that I could secure being a hairstylist as my main career. One thing that I've made sure that I do is I keep pumping into myself.
Education is key.
Education is key.
Yes.
Being educated behind that chair will actually separate you from the people who view hairstyling as a hobby.
As a hobby.
And no shade, no slight. If you do hairstyling as a hobby, that's your thing. But to know that there's actually like a plethora, infinity that you can do in being a cosmetologist.
And practicing professional. There is it's a fine line between hobby and career. And if you don't understand what that is, we're going to help you today.
Absolutely. A hobby. Let's look up what's the definition of a hobby.
You want to look that up?
Let's look up the definition of a hobby.
Oh,
Let's
don't
give
worry.
you a little bit of definition so we have clear lines on what's what before we even
have
begin this
Webster
conversation.
right here on my phone. So
better get
a
that
hobby,
Webster.
girl. I love Webster. One of my favorite things to go to because you listen. A hobby. A pursuit outside one's regular occupation engaged in especially for relaxation.
Now, what's a career?
Okay. Career me. A career states a profession for which one trains and which is undertaken as a permanent calling.
All right. Let's stop right there.
Ooh,
Okay, so the definition of a career is a profession
that's what it says.
in which
You train.
You train. So 1,500 hours in hair school or 1,800, whichever, that was my thing.
Mine
But
too.
1,500 hours in hair school is training. That is something that you train. It may be vocational training. It may be not your typical career training, but you're still training to perform an action. You are certified in that particular career to do what you do. A hobby is something that you do in your pastime.
And your pastime.
It's something that you do for relaxation.
That's what it says, to relax.
So with that being said, if you treat hairstyling or being a cosmetologist as a hobby, that's what you do for relaxation.
Well, yes, it is a hobby if you do it for relaxation, right? If you don't take the training for it and you don't go to school and you don't pass your boards and you are doing hair, it is a hobby. It is literally a hobby. And that is okay. Nobody's telling you that that's not okay. But as a profession, as someone who went to school for 1,800 hours, 1,500 in the classroom, the last 300 on the floor, who took the state board and then 6 months later went back to get their master's. Yeah, this is my career.
It's my career.
And I pride myself on that.
And I do. And I do pride myself on my career. I'm blessed to be able to say that this has been my main career since I started. Has it been easy? Absolutely not. But through grit and grind, You turn your profession, your career into that what you want it to be, because you have control of your business. Nobody else has control of your business as a hairstylist but you. So as you guys have heard me say previously, whatever you put into it is what you get out.
I mean, and just think about it. If you are doing it as a hobby and you did not have that training, I'm sure there's a lot of things that you lack knowledge of, right? Like,
Oh,
when it comes to a lot of the chemical processing, you can't tell me that you are of sound knowledge when it comes to that part of it.
there's no way.
Because even with somebody who went through the training, who has practiced for a long time, I still get a little stumped.
Yeah, everything is ever changing, so you
Yeah.
have to be stumped, which is why continuing education is key, because of the fact that everything is ever changing. Your products, your colors, everything is changing because they're trying to change with technology over the years. And what that does for the hairstylist is, if you're not practicing, going back and getting this education, you become completely out of key, completely out of tune of what's going on, which would turn you into a hobbyist.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It changes, like the formulations to the colors change. So here recently, right, for the last 17 years, I have used a particular brand of color. And I went to go pick it up and use it the other day. And baby, when I tell you it was different, I reached out and they was like, oh yeah, they are reformulating.
Yeah.
So what that says to me is now I have to now adjust and reformulate what I do and what I have used for the last 17 years, which, I mean, for a company and for a business to have the same formula for 17 years, that is a very long time. And unfortunately, it made me comfortable.
Yeah.
But
But they
now
think,
I am out of my comfort zone.
they think like we do. Change
Yeah.
is good.
Change is good. And it is. I don't feel like it was a bad thing. I just felt like now I have to go back and do a little bit more learning and research
Yes,
and figure
ma'am.
out, is this the line that I still need to continue with, or do I need to pursue another avenue?
Yes, ma'am. So
But that comes with this being my career.
that's the career. And part of this career as a hairstylist, cosmetologist, is you're a chemist.
Oh,
You are a chemist. So as Eureka's talking about having to relearn, it's uncomfortable, but it is okay, because we have the knowledge and the background
And it's necessary
from our training
for growth. Yep.
to be able to grow and be able to shift the way that these lines shift. When it comes down to relaxers, when it comes down to chemical properties, what you can mix and what you can't, a person who is treating this as a hobby is not going to have that knowledge or that know-how. They don't even have the drive to even want to know what that's doing. And it shows, because you treat this as your hobby. I feel like when you're a hairstylist, you should be able to, you get the training, so you should be able to service any chemical or whatever it is that comes your way.
Because there's a base that you learn, right? They teach you a base in school off of a curriculum. With any other training that you go through, there is a baseline, and they teach you that. And once you are out on your own, it is up to you to continue that.
That it is. That it
To
is.
learn beyond the base.
Now, people that I've seen to give me the dead demarcation between a hobby and a career. I've seen some hairstylists that come out of school, probably practiced from less than 5 years, and been able to hone in on what they want to do and what they don't want to do.
Right.
I'm not saying anything is wrong with that. If you're treating this as your hobby, there's nothing wrong with it. Even as a professional, or as this is my career, I've honed in on what I wanted to do, but at the same time, I've still made sure that as this being my career, that I know how to do whatever is thrown in my way.
And to sustain. Like, you have to
Yeah.
understand, if this is a hobby for you, great, no problem. But if this is your career, you have to continue that education. This the other day, I think we were talking, and I said, as a middle-aged woman, right?
Auntie.
If I don't like stay up on the trends and further my career, 10, 15 years from now, pray to goodness I'm still able to do it because I love it.
Amen.
I will be lost, right? Because as I grow in age, my clients grow in age.
Absolutely.
So no shade to the ladies who practice solely weave. The no shade. If that's your thing, y'all have at it. It's beautiful. I love the work. It's amazing.
Now,
I was never one of them hairstylists that got into weave. So now that as my clients get older, and we all know this, when you get older, women look for more convenience.
yes.
So because of that, I had to realize where my career would be going. And I had to put more education into certain things.
So we can sustain
A career years from now.
And as she was talking about sustainability, we were talking about weaves and wigs. Like, weaves and wigs are cool when you are that stylist at that point where you're wearing wigs and weaves. Your clients kind of mimic what you are. Okay.
Right.
So it's okay if you are, the billboard for walking around wearing wigs and weaves, but you got to think about in being sustainable in 15 to 20 years. Are you still going to be wearing wigs and weaves? And if you are, I hope and pray that you still got all the components under there, being your edges and everything that's going on. But being able to sustain those same women that are wearing those wigs and weaves 15 to 20 years ago, hopefully they won't be wearing those either. They'll be wanting to take care of that real hair. So how do you shift in your career to be able to service those same women? Because you want to hang on to your same clientele that grows with you. So how will you be able to shift and sustain those women as well if you just treat this as a hobby? Just a question.
I just, these are real thoughts. And I don't think that sometimes we really put enough thought into it and realizing as a career, you are responsible for a lot of things. Mm-hmm. And just going beyond the hair, as a career, you are responsible for making sure you set yourself up after your career ends, if this is a career for you.
Yeah.
You also have to realize that within your career, what is the next move? Do you just decide you're going to be behind a chair the whole time? Do you decide you want to educate? Are you going to mentor?
Yeah.
Are you like, what next as a career? As a hobby, you don't have to think about any of those things.
No, you don't.
Can just, do hair when you leisurely want to or not want to, or out of your house, but as a career, these
after
are
your
things,
full-time daytime job.
right? Like, these are all things that you have to think about and consider if this is your career. And consider like really investing into that education, because anybody who's been in this industry, I would say within the last 10 years has noticed a shift. And I'm here to tell you, 6-7 years ago, when that natural wave came into Lexington, because it came quick.
Y'all
It was so many hairstylists who was like, I don't do natural hair. I don't do natural hair. I don't do natural hair.
You still got hairstylists here in Lexington that say they don't do natural hair.
And I thank y'all for not doing natural hair.
I do
baby,
too.
what I tell y'all,
Y'all done sustained my career.
that book of mine filled up so quick
Bow.
because nobody did natural hair.
But one of the things that I told people when it comes to natural hair, people tend to treat what they don't understand very aggressively.
Ooh.
Yeah. So if you don't understand natural hair, you've made that person's experience in your chair horrid because you've treated their hair very aggressively. And then that's what happens to stylists like such when we take our time to understand what's going on. We give them a completely different experience. So, yeah.
But that was part of the career shifting, right?
Yeah.
Within the industry, because we all know that the hair industry forever changes.
Forever. From month to month.
Waves
like,
come in.
girl,
yes.
we doing French rolls again now. I honestly can't wait to get the first French roll in my chair.
I've done one.
For real?
Yes. Jamel, my client
Where
Jamel
was
had
that?
me doing a French roll. I don't know, but baby, I was so happy to do it.
Whipped it
I
out.
was like, oh, this is my time.
Did you still use Pump It Up?
I did not.
Okay.
I did not use Pump It Up. I got something comparable. Yeah, because we know Pump It Up is full of alcohol.
Baby.
But to each his own. But Pump It Up's full of alcohol. But baby, I plugged up the stove, hit the Marcel. Yeah.
What y'all know about that?
Plugged up the stove, hit the Marcel's, baby, turned that French roll out with my hairpins.
Let me tell y'all something. If you want to know the marksmanship of a true professional career hairstylist, walk into the salon and see if you see a set of Marcel irons. If you don't see a set of Marcel irons, guess what you're dealing with? You're dealing with a millennial stylist, first of all. who probably don't know the first thing about a Marcel oven, but they gonna give it to you. Plug up, pressing combs. No, baby, we got stoves over
I got
this way.
stoves, hot
We
combs.
got stoves.
You just say, listen, put that comb in that stove and just let it sit.
Just
bake.
let it sit. Put that on that white towel.
And let that comb just bake in that stove and get it good and seasoned.
Bet your edges don't
And-
sweat out.
No, for real. Put that cream press on them edges.
Bet your edges don't
baby.
sweat out.
Listen. But yeah, so I definitely have done a French roll. I love
wait.
it. I actually tried to get somebody to get some scrunches one day.
Now listen, I was never one to scrunch, but I will wave you to death with 2 combs.
Now I'm a scrunchie, baby. Scrunchie. Do some popcorn or something.
Oh no.
Give me a net and popcorn.
See, and this is how we talk about everything ever changing. It may be ever changing, but it's revolving at the same time.
is.
So it may have a little twist and turn on it, but when you've done this for your career, it's not hard for you to just jump back in and get in where you fit in, because the trends keep turning back over.
Over and over and over. Like when, who was it? Cardi and Megan had the 90s.
Them pink curl ponytails.
Listen, I know a couple of stylists in Lexington that should have ate that shit down.
Yes, ma'am. I know one in particular.
I know 2 that should have ate that shit. They should have took that wave when it came in and ran with it.
And gone. But hey, it'll pop back up again.
It'll come back around.
It'll come right back around.
come back
Summertime.
around.
Summer's coming.
And everybody wants to throw 90s parties. So at the hairstylists who do that, it is your time, baby.
Shine.
Please
Shine.
take
Take
over.
advantage.
And let this summer be yours, because it's coming. I've heard so many people talking about, I want to have a 90s party. I want to have a 90s party. I know 2 stylists right now that could be booked all summer.
B&B booked and busy with them pinker
With the pink girl
ponytails.
ponytails. But I need for y'all to understand, those same pink curl ponytails, the price is not yesterday's price.
Baby, because inflation happened and
It
years
does.
been passed. And it's, to be honest, doing pink curl ponytails, doing anything like that, that's craftsmanship.
It is.
The days, I remember back in the day, I mean, I used to pump out a waterfall ponytail out the kitchen, and I was charging $25. Guess what we not doing?
Yeah.
That.
Not at all.
That. It is craftsmanship. So, to the consumers that are watching, if you have a good professional hairstylist that views her career as a career, man, pay them people accordingly.
Pay them what they worth.
Pay their worth. And to the stylist that's doing that, if you've put in that work and if you are the one who's treating your career as a career,
Yes.
know your worth.
Know your worth. Yeah, I've always said, once you learn your craft, you have the education, and you put that time in, charge what you are worth. Every time you take a hair cutting class, every time you take I don't care if you're taking a silk press class, all of that goes towards your worth, because I'm sure you've learned something.
Yes.
That is education. Education equals money. Education equals stability. Education means longevity. Education brings in clients.
Education keeps you booked and busy. And that pocket a little fat.
So, you know, I know y'all tend to think that us as hairstylists, sometimes we tend to be charging our lifestyle. But a lot of times, I don't think y'all realize the same way that pack of hamburger went up at the grocery store.
So did that pack of color.
So did that shampoo.
So did that conditioner. So did that treatment.
So that
So did Dan Decker to sharpen my shears.
we're not gonna talk about the shears or
Listen.
Dan Decker. Listen, here, man, get my credit card on file.
I'll just put that on your card, little lady. All right,
lady, you want me to use the card on
Shout
file?
out to Decker, 40 years in business. Woot woot.
But yeah, I need for y'all to understand all of those things went up. So we have to also get a return on our investment. And just like any other product that sells, you also have to make something off of it too at the end of the day.
And we have to make sure that we're able to be able to function in our normal lives outside of the salon. So it's not that we just, charging. But guess what? KU did raise them bills over the winter. But I'm just saying, we have to be able to sustain our lives too.
Everything.
So we ain't just charging y'all just because we have the career. We're not charging you because of that. We're charging you because of everything that goes behind that. It's the behind the scenes that y'all don't know and don't see. But we just try to deliver the best us to you.
Now,
Yeah.
do I feel like the person doing it as a hobby out of their house should be charging what I charge? Absolutely not. And quite frankly, as a client, if I find out price wise, I'm looking at the person at home and the person at the salon.
You got me laying over the sink.
Leaning forward.
Water all in my eyes. Shampoo, hair tangled up. What? Why do you feel like you should charge me that much?
You know, and 9 times out of 10, probably not using the best quality product.
Girls, girls say hitting up Sally's and bundles and wigs. Y'all got Aussie in their hair, everything. Hair over hair over drying out, but you think it's moisturized.
Yeah.
Dry to death.
Or that'd be my favorite thing. I don't know why my hair's so dry.
I don't know why it won't absorb no water.
Or my favorite question, how's my porosity?
Girl, last week I had a client come in here and I shampooed her hair, but as soon as the water hit her hair, I'm like, did you just take a conditioner out of your hair? She was like, yeah, I slept with a reconstructor in my hair overnight.
What?
Slept with?
A reconstructor?
Don't do that no more.
Why? See, that comes from a lack of education, because who told you to do
Who
that?
told you to do that?
Who told you to do that?
And when I tell you I was tight-lipped when I told her, don't you do that no more.
That's the difference in dealing with somebody who views the industry as a career or a hobby.
Because if you view this as your career, what people do in their careers, they set themselves up for their career to be easy, right?
Absolutely.
So with me, every single person that sits behind my chair, every single person that sits in my chair is thoroughly educated. We're going to put product in your hand.
So you can feel it.
And I am going to throw a little threat factor in there. If I feel you undoing whatever I'm trying to do, I will fire you.
Yeah.
That's real with me.
I've fired a client or two. And I'm telling you, and I let my clients know I fired clients. Because, baby, when I tell you, they quick to say, well, I don't want to get fired.
What you want me to do? What do I need to do? What do I need to take home? And when do I need to come back?
Yeah, you have to literally let them know that this is not just a threat. This is real.
This is real.
This is a real thing. I choose this as my career. And because I choose this as my career, I need everything to be as smooth as possible. So when y'all say y'all pick and choose who sits in your chair,
hello,
I absolutely do.
Hello.
I absolutely do.
And we'll continue to pick and choose.
Because what you're not going to do is make my life miserable and hard at one of the places that I love the most.
No, ma'am. And another thing, as a career stylist, what we make sure that we hone in on a career. What we make sure we hone in on as a career stylist is one thing. I don't want my name to look bad walking in these streets.
Correct.
So that's the reason you call it what you may, but that is the main reason why I screen my clients. Mm-hmm. And that's the reason why I'm quick to say, if you're undoing what I'm doing, you can go. Because you can't be walking around out here talking about Mashawn did my hair and you look like who did it, what for, and why.
Because you're not following the directions that I gave you. Because I know I gave you directions.
Specific ones.
Specifically for you.
Tailored for you.
And you didn't listen. And believe it or not, as a career hairstylist, we know when y'all are lying.
Man.
We know.
Man. Did you wrap your hair last night?
Everything I need to know.
Did you wrap your hair last night? Yep, every night. And your hair over here like this. You a lie. A whole lie. Ain't no way that your hair was wrapped.
Do you wear ponytails often?
No.
And then I go, and it's a whole, you got a upside down, got a frown in the back of your hair when I go to cut it. Oh, okay.
You don't wear no ponytails, though.
Okay.
All right.
When was the last time you shampooed your hair? Oh, a week ago.
Go to flat iron your hair and shampoo it. It still got a whole greasy film on it, and your hair burning off product at the chair.
After I done used my clarifying.
My God.
And the moisturizing.
My God.
And I can still go back to the bowl meal.
Please.
Because I can't, in good faith, I can't let this go.
Got my whole salon smoky, smelling like burnt chicken.
Yep, I see.
Yeah, so.
That was ghetto as hell.
All right, y'all. Well, this is another episode from the Give Back. Mashawn Carter Fogle.
Eureka Edison.
Be on the lookout. Make sure you hit that subscribe, like, and share button if you haven't already. We'll be back in another week and a half with another episode. So, see y'all.
Peace. And cut.